Hello everyone, welcome to the online environmental classes. In this session, we are going to learn about the Wien's displacement law, which is a very important topic from UPSC and UGC NET point of view. Now, before we begin understanding what is Wien's displacement law, we need to understand few points. So the first point we are going to talk about is radiations. What are the radiations and how do we get them? Second, we are also going to talk about the electromagnetic spectrum. So I am writing EM for electromagnetic here. Third most important point is what is the black body. So first let's understand what is the radiation. So radiation is the energy which is either emitted by an object. So I am writing E for emission, or either absorbed by an object. So I am writing capital A for absorption, or reflected by an object, so R, or transmitted through an object. In our universe there are many objects, so your sun is also an object, your earth is also an object. Apart from these two, there are many real objects. Now each object undergoes some processes. What are those processes? First is emission, second is absorption, third is reflection, and fourth is transmission. So these are the four basic processes which can take place in any object. So suppose, for example, this is my object. On this particular object, some radiations are falling on it. So these are my radiations which are falling on it. Now these incident radiations have four ways to end up. So some portion of these radiations will get absorbed, some of these radiations will get reflected, so reflection will take place, and some of these radiations will get transmitted through the object. So therefore transmission will take place. So these three processes will take place if any radiation is falling on the object. Now which process is left? Emission. So when does emission take place? If any object has absorbed some energy or the radiation. So now suppose this particular object has absorbed some radiations. Because of the absorption, its temperature has gone up. Now because of the second law of thermodynamics, this object will try to put itself in the thermal equilibrium. To maintain this equilibrium, it will try to emit some heat or the energy. Because it has absorbed some energy, because of that energy its temperature has gone up. So it will try to reduce the temperature by emitting some radiations. In that case, emission will take place when it will emit the radiations. So that is how emission, absorption, reflection and transmission, these four processes take place in an object. Now let's understand another very important concept which is called emissivity. So again I am taking one example. This is my object. This particular object is emitting some radiations. So suppose it is emitting radiations R1, R2, R3 at a particular temperature, suppose T1. At temperature T2 again it will emit different radiations. Now these radiations R1, R2 and R3, these radiations are at different wavelength. So lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. So there are different radiations at different temperature. Now suppose we need to quantify how much radiations have been emitted by this particular object. So how can we quantify it? So to quantify or calculate how much radiations have been emitted by this particular object, we use the reference of black body. That is when the black bodies come into picture. So now first let's understand what is the black body, and then we will discuss how can we quantify how much radiations have been emitted by this particular object. Black bodies, you can say the black bodies are the perfect absorbers. What do you mean by perfect absorber? Perfect absorber means if this is my black body, so I am writing BB, some radiations are falling on this black body. So now earlier in the real object we had seen these radiations have three ways to end up. One is absorption, one is reflection, one is transmission. But in case of black body, what is happening? 100% absorption is taking place. So 100% absorption all radiations are being absorbed, 0% reflection means no reflection is taking place, and 0% transmission. So no transmission is taking place. That is why it is a perfect absorber. Now, the interesting point is all the perfect absorbers are perfect emitter also. This is also clear why they are perfect emitter. Because if this black body has absorbed 100% radiations, to maintain the equilibrium, what will it do? It will start emitting the heat which it has absorbed. So that is why it will become perfect emitter. This is the concept of black body, where it is a perfect absorber and perfect emitter. Now comes the concept which is called emissivity. Emissivity is denoted by this sign. Emissivity is the ratio of amount of radiations emitted by real object at temperature T divided by amount of radiations emitted by black body at temperature T. Means at same temperature we are using amount of radiations emitted by real object and emitted by black body. That is how we calculate the emissivity of any object. There are few emissivities which are used universally, like emissivity of any human body. Irrespective of its pigmentation, it is always 0.96. Similarly, if you talk about the emissivity of any wetland or ice or water, so it is somewhere around 0.95. Whereas the emissivity of desert lands or the dry ground or the woodland, it is always close to 0.90. So these are the some universal emissivities which we use in solving the numerical questions. So till now we have seen what are the radiations and black body. Now let's understand what is electromagnetic spectrum. So electromagnetic spectrum is the range, or it constitutes all the wavelengths, or you can say it is the range of all the radiations emitted by any particular real object at different wavelengths and at different temperature. What does it mean? Suppose this is my object. It is emitting radiations R1, R2 and R3 at different wavelengths, lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3 at temperature T1. But at temperature T2, it is radiating different radiations, suppose R4, R5, R6 at different wavelengths. So lambda 4, lambda 5 and lambda 6. And these two are the same objects, but temperature is different, radiations are different. Now how can we constitute these radiations in one graph? That is done by electromagnetic spectrum. So I am going to make an electromagnetic spectrum for this particular real object. So for temperature T1, so these are my different wavelengths, lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3. This is the spectrum at temperature T1. Now at temperature T2, my graph will look something different. Suppose like this. Here the wavelengths are different and this radiation curve is at temperature T2. So this is how I can make radiation curve for any real object. Now these radiations are called electromagnetic radiations or electromagnetic waves. When you talk about electromagnetic spectrum, the most common image which pops into your head is this one. This is my electromagnetic wave. In this electromagnetic wave, there are many other waves which are called as gamma wave. So I am writing gamma here. X-rays. Then comes the ultraviolet rays. So I am writing UV. Then comes the visible portion which can be seen by human eyes. Then comes the infrared portion which is called IR. And then comes the microwaves and radio waves. In this diagram, when you move from left to right, which means we are moving from gamma to radio waves. As you move from gamma to radio waves, the wavelength keep increasing. which means the gamma waves are the short waves. So here the wavelength is short. When the wavelength is short, energy is high. So high energy and high frequency. What does it mean? It means the ultraviolet rays have little longer wavelength compared to gamma waves. Also, they have little less energy compared to gamma waves. As you keep moving towards the radio waves, you will find long waves. So you can say the radio waves are the longest wavelength waves in electromagnetic spectrum. Because they have long wavelengths, so that means they have less energy. Energy is less, so frequency is also less. Now, based on this description, how can I draw them? It will look something like this. Gamma waves have very high frequency, so they will look like this, closer to each other. X-rays have little less frequency compared to gamma waves, so they will look something like this. And then as you keep moving towards the right, the frequency will keep decreasing and wavelength increases. So here the frequency is high but the wavelength is short. Here the wavelength is long but the frequency is less. Now let's understand what is the Wien's displacement law. So Wien's displacement law tells you the wavelength at which the spectrum or the radiation curve touches the peak or the maximum point. So what does it mean? Normally you get the spectrum for any real object or for any black body something like this. This is the radiation curve, or you can say the spectrum. Here this spectrum is touching the maximum point here. This black point is telling you the maximum or the peak of this particular radiation curve. Now x-axis is representing the wavelength and y-axis is telling you the intensity. So this particular radiation curve is telling you at this particular wavelength, this object is emitting the highest energy because intensity is highest at this particular wavelength. And Wien's displacement law tells you this particular wavelength, which I am highlighting with orange color. So what is the formula for Wien's displacement law? It is lambda peak is equal to B divided by T. Here B is the Wien's displacement constant, which is equal to 2898 micrometer Kelvin, and T is your absolute temperature in Kelvin, and it is equal to lambda peak, means wavelength in micrometer. So this was about the Wien's displacement law. Now we are going to see few questions which have been asked in UGC NET environmental science paper. So here the first question is, at the average surface temperature of the earth, what is the wavelength at which maximum terrestrial radiations are emitted? This can be solved by Wien's displacement law. So in this question we have to find out which wavelength is emitted by earth. So how can we solve it? We need to find out the wavelength emitted by earth. So we are finding wavelength, peak wavelength emitted by earth. It will be 2898, which is the Wien's displacement constant, and at the place of absolute temperature T here, I am going to put the temperature of earth, which is the average temperature of earth. It is 288 Kelvin. What is the average temperature of earth? It is 15 degrees Celsius. Now we need to put temperature here in Kelvin. So what do we do? 273 plus 15. It will be 288 Kelvin. If we solve this portion, you will get something 10.1 micrometer. So option B will be the right option for this question. Now the next question is, solar radiations peak at which wavelength? Now this question can again be solved using Wien's displacement law. So I am finding lambda peak for sun. It will be 2898, which is Wien's displacement constant, and the temperature of sun, which is somewhere around 5900 Kelvin. If you solve this, you will get 0.5 micrometer. Now the third question is, peak wavelength of solar radiation falls in which part of the spectrum? What was the peak wavelength of sun? We found in previous question it was 0.5 micrometer. It was the peak wavelength for sun. Now we have to find out where does this 0.5 falls in the electromagnetic spectrum. So if you look at the electromagnetic spectrum, this is my visible portion, and visible portion starts from 0.4 micrometer to 0.7 micrometer, which means the 0.5 is coming somewhere here, and it is mostly the green portion. So the peak wavelength of the solar radiation falls are somewhere around the green color of visible portion. So answer would be green color of visible portion. The next question is, which rays are emitted by Earth, or what is the nature of terrestrial radiations? So lambda peak for Earth, what was the value for it? 10.1 micrometer. 10.1 micrometer falls somewhere here in the infrared region. So infrared region is starting from 0.7 micrometer and it extends up to somewhere 1000 micrometer. So 10.1 μm will fall in the infrared region. So we can say the Earth is emitting infrared radiations. So these were the few questions which are mostly asked in the UGC NET environmental science paper from Wien's displacement law. So this was all about the Wien's displacement law. If you have any doubt in this particular section, you can let me know in the comment section. I will try to solve all the questions. Thank you.